Everyone, and welcome back to Mr. J's Big Book of Movies, where my quest is to find the best movies in the land to put into my Big Book of Movies. What does it take to get into the Big Book of Movies? That's what we do here every Saturday to find out. Well, it is the end of Black History Month, and I've educated you guys all month on some pretty heavy movies, but I'm going to take it easy on you today and have some fun. One thing that I noticed, it is really hard to find a history movie, a Black History movie, not starring this guy right here. But what I am going to do, I'm going to talk about a person that we all know and love. Well, I love. Very popular, and this individual is a singer, and actually hated being a singer. They wanted to be an actor. And they came out with a movie, and unfortunately, it was supposed to be in theaters, but unfortunately, it only came out on video. I'm talking about Michael Jackson, and I'm talking about Moonwalker. Moonwalker was released direct-to-video in 1988. It was directed by Jerry Kramer, Jim Blashfield, and Colin Chilvers. IMDb states that anthology movie by and starring Michael Jackson in his prime, combining a number of music videos from his best-selling album Bad with a fantasy tale of Michael Jackson's confrontation with a ruthless drug dealer known as Mr. Big. Yes, that is what happened. So as far as the premise, I'm not going to attack the premise because that is what happened. So let's get down to business. First of all, the reason why I chose this for Black History Month is Michael Jackson has a huge influence on the music industry. He still holds the best-selling music album of all time, still to this day, in 2018, Thriller. So, I want to pay homage to him with this. I grew up watching this film, and I really liked it a lot. And the more I found out about him and looking back at this movie again, it's very heartwarming to me. I feel that this movie can be dissected into two areas. The music anthology half, and then you have the movie half. So I'm going to be grading it as a whole, but you're going to hear me talking about it back and forth between the two. So as far as rewatchability, I would give the entire movie a 4. You really get to learn a lot of his past music, his new music and his past music from the anthology half. And this was made during his Bad album. So that's what the album's called, Bad, and it's not a bad album. It's the album is called Bad, and it's for the first time, I believe you get to see the Speed Demon video, and I believe for the first time you get to see the Leave Me Alone video. One thing I think that's cool about the Leave Me Alone video is Bubbles, his monkey, and Muscles, his boa constrictor, can be seen in the video. So storyline-wise, obviously the first half is to introduce Michael Jackson and his past accomplishments through his music. So I give that a 5. Then you have the Moonwalker movie, which the storyline is Michael Jackson witnesses a drug dealer in action, and then they try to assassinate him. And through his lucky star, he has the superpowers to defeat the crime boss known as Mr. Big. It's kind of bad, but because it's Michael Jackson, it's kind of good. So I'm gonna go in the middle, and I'm only gonna give storyline a 2, You know what? I'm gonna give storyline a 3. I'm gonna go in the middle, the true middle, because the only reason you watch the rest of the movie is to get to the smooth criminal part. But the storyline of the actual movie is pretty bad, and I don't think there's any saving it. Characters gets a 1. Obviously, Michael Jackson plays himself. John Lennon's son is in this movie, and I had found that out. I didn't know that as a kid, but he is. And then at the end of the movie, they Michael Jackson sings "Come Together," which is a very classic Beatles song. I don't know if he was allowed to sing it because John Lennon's son is in the movie, or if he just decided to. Because I know there was that big thing where Michael Jackson bought a whole bunch of Beatles music. I don't know. But as far as characters, the acting was terrible. You didn't know what the main character's name was. He was never referred to as Mr. Big. He was referred to as DeFeo or DeLeo, and he spells it out. It's DeLeo, Lideo, DeLeo. The acting was really bad, and Katie, she had one line the whole movie. Michael, blah, blah, blah. She was annoying as shit, and it was just the acting is not what pulled the movie. Appearance-wise, and you're going to be surprised about this, I give it a 4 because they did some really cool shit. And I'm not talking about when he turned into a car or when he turned into a spaceship. I'm talking about how they use an entire film as a music video. Everyone knows the iconic lean scene from Smooth Criminal. The stormtroopers that were used, the guns that they had with the little numbers that showed every amount of bullets that they used, their costumes. It was a very good looking movie. And the fact that Michael Jackson, they saw at the end, Michael Jackson, was being chased by the dogs, it's actually him. I applaud them for that, and I give this movie a 4. And that big, thumbs up for that, go ahead. Finally, you have enjoyment. Enjoyment, I give a 5. I feel this movie was supposed to be ridiculous. I feel this movie was about the music, and I don't feel it was about the story. I remembered it, and I loved it as a kid. I remember it, and I love it as an adult. It's a must-see. It's a great anthology. Unfortunately, it's only up to his career with Bad. And you don't get to hear anything else because it didn't exist at the time of this movie. But if you want to listen to Michael Jackson, see his videos around his Bad career, this is a definite must-watch. And you'll enjoy it. And you even see in the beginning, how he started up with the Jackson 5 and moved from there. So I feel it is very relevant. 5 for enjoyment. Alright, so what does all this numbers and scores mean? What we do is we add up the 5 categories because the 5 categories equal a score. And that score equals a grade. So, starting at the top, we have the rewatch factor being a 4. We have the storyline being a 3. We have the characters being a 1. We have the appearance being a 4. And we have the enjoyment being a 5. Altogether, that equals a 17. That 17 equals a B. All right. I think it's a B because of the music half. The actual movie half kind of stunk. But, it does have the movie and it is part of the movie. So, I applaud that. But does Moonwalker get into the big book of movies? I really loved this movie as a kid. And I still love this movie as an adult. And it's something I feel helps immortalize Michael Jackson. So, yes, Moonwalker does get into the big book of movies. Well, that's all the time we have here today on Mr. J's Big Book of Movies. I hate doing theme months. I don't think I'm going to be doing a theme month, but I will have themes going on. Don't forget you can follow me anytime, anywhere on Facebook, our Facebook fan page at I4Mr. You can follow us on Twitter at I4NI, spelled just like my podcast. My podcast you can listen to. It is I for Now with Mr. J. It's available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Stitcher. You could email me anytime, anywhere at mws_216@yahoo.com. And every time, whenever you use me a comment, concern, whatnot, always use the hashtag I4Mr. And the most important thing of all, below, comment, subscribe. That's what it's there for. Let me know how I'm doing and what I can improve on so I can help your viewing abilities. And as far as I'm concerned, this chapter is now closed.